Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Destroy All
Duh,
Humans Memory
duh.
Lane, episode 6. We're just gonna be doing some farming for some DNA so I can get some good stuff.
So, you know how in anime they'll have that one arc where it's like 5 episodes that's nothing? And it's like, oh, cool, it's like Naruto filing his taxes at H&R Block. That's gonna be this kind of episode.
Okay, just the thought of that's so amusing to me.
The guy H&R Block
Just
is like,
attack.
listen, man, I know you're the Hokage, but you still have to itemize these deductions, dude. Like, you're running a business. I need you to understand, like, if we don't itemize this, you're gonna be screwed. Like, you understand, if we do the simple form, you're gonna be out at least $8,000 more than if we itemized it. And before you ask, no, ramen is not a business expense. It's not something you need to operate as the Hokage. I know you like it a lot and you say it helps you, but the government will not see it as a business expense. Business expenses are stuff like paper, pens, salary, company car,
Get company car.
properties. Like, dude. Like, the guy at HR Block's his head and hands about to cry. It's like, what do you mean you don't have any of your tax returns and that you've never gotten one? You're telling me you've been the Hokage for like 30 years and you not once filed any taxes. If it was like 1 or 2 years, man, there's a grace period. We could work it. You might have to pay a fine at worst. How have you not been audited? Like, the IRS is going to audit me for talking to you, man. Like, to imagine Naruto's like looking into the distance, like one eye's looking to the left, one eye's looking to the right, like all derpy. And he's like, I'm the Hokage. He's like, I know. And what do you mean you're not married, but you're married to the jutsu? What does that mean? Is the jutsu like what you call your wife? Or like, you know the state you live in, you can't marry inanimate objects or concepts, right? Like, it has to be a human. Meanwhile, like, there's like a line like 38 people behind him, like, God, this guy needs to hurry up. Like, dude, the deadline's next week, and like, I gotta pick up my kids in an hour from soccer practice. I really want to see somebody animate the Hokage at H&R Block.
That'd be amusing.
It's funny because I've never seen, like, I've seen like 10 episodes of Naruto. I don't know anything about it except that he is the Hokage.
I mean, well.
Oh, and he's Boruto's dad. I know that.
Disgusting.
Crazy they made a manga all about Boruto's dad.
That's a... God, that is a bad one.
I wouldn't know.
I just say it because I like to hate.
It's true.
I've never watched it. The new stuff.
I don't know. I'm also not one of those people where it's like, if someone's like, yeah, man, you just have to get through like the first 3 seasons of filler and then like it gets good. It's like, if you say I have to get through more than like 3 episodes, it gets good, I'm not gonna watch it.
I did. Okay, yeah, sure, a JoJo fan.
To be fair, it was only 3 episodes in season 1 I had to get through first before I got interested.
Bro, I went through seasons and I wasn't interested.
Yeah, but you're not me. we may share a name, but we don't share a brain.
Like, yeah, that is probably one of my least favorite
Okay, to
animes.
be fair, all right, I'm a JoJo stan, not stand, but stan, no D. Unless you want it, call me. But I will admit, season 1 and 2 to a non-JoJo fan kind of suck. In season 3, the first half of it sucks for a big JoJo fan. I get where people wouldn't like those. And it really doesn't help that you take everything you learned from season 1 and 2 and you're like, oh cool, I don't need any of this info anymore. Let me just not remember any of it. Like all that
Useless.
Hamon breathing and all that, like, cool. Old man Joseph does it a little bit, but he explains it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's something we used to do." But I got the purple tentacles with the thorns on them. We're good. I will say after season 3, Jeremy, then the show gets really good.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure.
Well,
The only one I hate more, though, is One Piece.
I liked reading the manga when I was younger, but if I knew it was gonna be thousands at this point, I wouldn't have bothered. Like, it's like if somebody was like, "Let me sing you the song of Mary Had a Little Lamb," and they somehow made it longer than the entire discography of Rush. Would you like a reference on how long that is? I'll look it up for you right now, buddy.
Yeah, give me a reference.
Also, I like Rush, by the way.
The band?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard many of their stuff.
To listen to all studio albums of Rush would take you 13 hours and 52 minutes and 10 seconds.
Ew. That sounds awful.
But to be fair, 12, that's 19 albums, to be fair.
Hmm.
It's not like it's like 2 albums. God, that suck. Can you imagine?
19
Like, hey,
hours for 2 albums? That'd be insane.
No, not 19 hours. It'd be 14 hours, give or take. Like a little less than 14.
Ew.
If it was 13:52. Listen, I like Rush, but I get if somebody just wants to listen to like the 5 or 6 songs they heard a lot on the radio, that's fine. Like my favorite song from Rush is like 13 minutes long or something like that.
13 minutes?
No, it's 11 minutes. It's 11 minutes and like 12 seconds, I believe.
That's
but it's a song that's written in a style of like the like old like Greek epics where it tells a whole story. And that's why I like it, because it tells an interesting story. It's called Xanadu. Listen to it. It's pretty good.
I won't.
You actually have.
I won't.
You have with me, and you said it was pretty okay.
Pretty okay to me means I hated it.
No, when you hate it, you just, like, if I say, like, how'd you like it? You're like, oh, I turned it off, like, 2 minutes in.
I do
I just
that,
don't want to say
I?
anything to upset you. You do it to me all the time.
Well,
fine.
get better taste. That's all I can say.
Listen, man, JoJo Season 4 is pretty good. Season 5, bit of a chef's kiss. Season 6, maybe, like, the chef blows you a kiss through, like, one of those plastic sheets that were set up during COVID.
Hmm.
Season 7, the chef is Frenching you.
What is that?
Oh my God, I thought it was an ostrich from far away. It looked like an ostrich running by.
Oh, it's...
JoJo Season 8. It's a chef's kiss if a chef's kiss was somebody farting near you.
So it's not good?
It's not good, but it's a little funny.
Ugh.
And season 9 is like, someone's like, yeah, let me give you a kiss. And they give you an album from Kiss. Well, a live album. So you're like, I don't know if I'm going to listen to this. Like, I might if I'm in the mood, but like, eh. But part 7, though, ooh.
Isn't part 7 your favorite?
Yeah. Well, you want to know what I really like about part 7? And it's going to sound weird. And if you're a JoJo fan, you listen to this, you don't agree, I don't care. Shut up. There's little to no fluff. It's just story. Everything that they show has something to do with the story or lore. There's no Hokage H&R Block sequence. It's all like, hey, here's what the characters are doing, or hey, here's that side character that's like an integral part of the story. Here's what they were up to when you didn't see them. It's like, oh, they were fighting somebody. Oh, they were spying on somebody. All right, cool. Or like, oh, hey, they ran into somebody and they were told, like, hey, you need to warn these people that someone's after them. And then it's like, oh, cool. That's going to be part of the story. Okay. Listen, I like JoJo. Part 3 had a lot of filler. I'm sorry. It did. The Oingo Boingo brothers, they're funny, I guess. Not really. Not necessary. I mean, I get they have to travel from Japan to Egypt, and it's a long trip, but you don't need to show me, like, every other step they walk, even though they didn't. It felt like it. And you know that because you watched through most of that part, unfortunately, not the great parts.
And not the great parts.
Like Dio throwing a steamroller and screaming. Hilarious. You know what, me? Can you edit the road roller doll right here? Thanks.
I'm happy that you enjoy something so much.
It's okay, because it's not even my favorite anime.
Which is your favorite?
You gotta guess. You get 3 guesses. If you don't get it, I can't.
Sakamoto.
No, that's not even like top 30.
Dang. I don't even know what anime you really watch. Besides of JoJo.
Okay, we'll take a sub question here. You can ask me if I've watched 5 animes or not, and this won't affect your choice of you guessing my favorite. You know I haven't watched Naruto. You know I haven't watched One Piece. You know I haven't watched all of Demon Slayer.
I know you haven't watched Bleach.
I haven't.
Man, that's all the anime I know.
Yeah, sure, buddy. He says as he puts his body pillow to the side to reshift his chair.
Hey, the body pillow I have is from Genshin Impact.
That's an anime. Come on.
Not yet. Not yet, buddy. They're working on it.
What if I waited to delay this video until the anime came out? They just never got part 6 of Destroy All Humans until it comes out. But we'll release all the parts after, but they don't get the special farming episode until then.
That'd be funny.
At that point, we'd be playing the remaster of this game. But go ahead, guess. You know I've watched some shows, and I know you know anime. Also,
have you watched Death Note?
I have watched Death Note.
You have?
I have. Not the live action, but I've watched the actual anime. I watched it with Gus, actually. Oh, and I will tell you another thing that will help. My favorite anime, it isn't an anime movie. It's like a show.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about movies.
Well, cool, you don't have to, because it's not a movie. Right, you get 4 more have you seen it.
Let's see. Now, we're not talking about the meme stuff we say, right?
No.
Okay.
Although it might be a meme one. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is not really an anime, but we always say it is.
Cory in the House?
Yeah.
It's not Cory in the House.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you're not like...
I've never seen Cory in the House.
What, you really? Have you?
Like, well, I haven't watched it with purpose. Like, if it's been on, I've watched it before. I think I've watched like 2 episodes in its entirety, like in one sitting.
I see.
I wasn't really a Disney Channel guy anyway.
Neither was I.
The only
really.
time I was on Disney Channel was like, oh cool, Lion King's on in like 15 minutes. Let me turn on the channel. I want to watch Lion King without putting the VHS in. Or like sometimes they'll do like special concert things. Like they did one for Tarzan where it's like, hey, like watch Tarzan's like special premiere with Phil Collins, and like they'll do like some of the music live before the movie. Teehee.
So I know you watched I haven't even watched it. I don't even Zom 100, I think it's called.
I have watched Zom 100.
Have you seen? Nah, that would. I don't even care if you've seen it or not. It's not even that good.
You can ask it as a freebie. That's fine.
High School of the Dead.
I have seen that one. That one's weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
The whole piss part, gross.
Yeah, a little freaky.
I remember when I saw that, I'm like, I'm not gonna like the rest of the show. I know I'm not. Like, what's wrong with them? Like, could that happen? Sure, but like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to imagine that.
Wait, don't you like Shin-Chan or whatever the hell that is?
I hate Shin-Chan.
Oh, I thought you were one of the ones that liked that.
I like how much people hate it, but I don't like the actual show.
I see.
I think he's an insufferable asshole.
And then there's the one I know that I hate. It's like, what is it called? It's like the really two round people. They're like round and long. What are their names?
Oh, is it that one where it was like they're short episodes and they keep
Yeah, it's
drawing
short.
the screen?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I hate that.
Oh,
that's not
thank the
gonna count
Lord.
violations. Jeremy, you don't remember when our buddy tried to put it on and we were like, no, we literally got up and left the room?
I just needed to confirm. Did I not just complete this? Oh, I pressed retry, didn't I? Yeah, I did.
Cancel challenge. There you go. All right, you got 3 more questions, Jeremy.
Okay, let's see. I don't think you've seen this one. It's also not that great, but Rosario Vampire?
I haven't seen that one. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, don't. It's...
Yeah,
I
don't.
mean, the girls are nice to look at, but the story is main character, actual hate with a passion.
Oh, good, good.
Okay, so not that one. I know it's not Overlord.
The only episode of that show I saw.
Don't even bring it up.
No, bring it up. You need to tell the world what you did.
Listen, I didn't know what they did. I found out the same day you did, brother.
You tell the world what
stupid goats. Anyone that's watched Overlord, they know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, so Jeremy for weeks was telling me about this show called Overlord. He's like, hey, you'd like it. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool action. There's like some waifus. Like, you'd like it. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still watching JoJo. This is my first run through JoJo. I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I have like the attention span for something that has like some lore. And you were like, tell you what, I want to watch the newest episode. Why don't you watch it with me? If you like it, then you should watch the rest of the show. I'm like, all right, sure. And what episode came on?
The Go episode. You know, people are hyping it up too. It's
halfway
just
through the episode, Jeremy looked at me and he said, I'm sorry. I ruined the show for you. It's never been this bad.
It wasn't. It was never that bad before.
You totally told me, like, I don't know what happened, but this is not the show I recommended to you.
It was genuinely just like, so bad,
like, you
man.
know what? I'm not even trying to get you to watch it anymore. Don't bother. They ruined it. I ruined it. I'm sorry. You apologize to me.
You know, the messed up part too is like I haven't really watched that much of it since.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I mean, I really should, but it's just.
I mean, if
really
the show ruined it, they
disappointed me with that one.
Listen, man, sometimes it be like that.
Yeah,
You got some more questions to ask, boy.
Yeah, that's right. I know you've seen Erased.
I have.
I was there. Great one, by the way. That was really good. Have you seen? No, I know you've seen Anohana.
I have seen Anohana. Not as good as Erased.
I thought they're equally good.
I'm not gonna say Anohana is bad in the slightest, but I think Erased is like, it's a good encapsulation of story and a proper length.
Yeah.
That show was exactly as long as it needed to be. And not many shows can say that.
Let's see, what else?
You got 2 more have you seen it before you have to start guessing favorites, or I'll give you the bonus question if you're still struggling. And by the bonus question, I mean it's a bonus hint.
I know. No, you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan.
I am actually.
What?
But the most casual nothing fan of it.
The most casual nothing fan of it.
I will watch it sometimes when I want to not care or pay attention.
I see. Well, wait, hang on. Like
Because
Z, the original, or
normally it's either Z or it's like
GT.
not GT, but it's
Okay.
Kai.
Oh,
I watched through Kai a couple times.
okay.
Just the older stuff. I watched through Dragon Ball Super. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I like the part where Goku's like, "My tractor." Thought that was funny. Stuff like that, or like you see like Mr. Popo, and you're like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, you little rascal?" Or you see Master Roshi, and you're like, "Oh God, here we go again."
Yeah.
Or like you see Bulma just absolutely destroy her husband. It's like that guy can break a planet in half, and he's getting beat by his wife.
That's how you know he loves her.
But like, I don't know the names of all the characters. I don't know like all the power level stuff.
Dude, no one knows what the power level shit is.
Some of those advanced weeps.
Not even the author does, bro. All right.
But obviously, that Dragon Ball question it won't count because you didn't ask if I've seen it. You were asking if I was a fan.
Let's see.
If I had to do the fan scale where 10 is like it's my life and 1 is like I don't even know that the words you said were a show, I'd say Dragon Ball's like maybe a 4.
Maybe
and
a 4.
Honestly, JoJo's like a 7 or an 8. I know a lot of lore. I've read all the JoJo manga except the newest part because I'm not gonna read part 9 until there's at least a good chunk. And I enjoy it, but I know it's flawed, and I know it's weird, and I know it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah. Man, I don't really know many animes anymore, man.
It's one you know. It's not like some weird shit that you've never heard of.
Am I a fan of it?
I don't know.
One I know.
You can still ask me if I've seen 2 anime.
That's true. Okay, have you?
This episode won't end until these questions are resolved.
Okay. Okay, so have you seen oh, it's the oh my god, I picture it right in my mind. Oh my god, no, I'm drawing a blank. I know you've seen Ghost Stories.
Not only have I seen Ghost Stories, my entire experience with watching that infamous dub was with Gus and another one of our friends from camp while we were all shit-faced.
Ghost Stories is great, man.
Watching that drunk, 10 out of 10 experience. Especially the part where they're talking to the cop.
Man, if you guys haven't seen Ghost Stories, you should.
No, don't watch the actual show. Just watch like one of those YouTube compilations where they put all the funny bits. Most of the show's that funny, but if you like those funny bits, then watch the show.
It was enjoyable. I enjoyed
because
myself.
You're not gonna. Doesn't have a deep story. The dub. It doesn't have anything like super like, oh, this is memorable. Like this is what an experience. It's just like They paid people to do this. Somebody bought groceries because they made this dub. You know it's bad when the VAs are even like, yeah, we didn't do a good job. We just kind of messed around because they said just get it done, and we said, okay. What do you want us to do? Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it.
But yes, I have seen Ghost Stories.
Let's see. Demon Slayer, we already talked about earlier. And you're not even done with it.
I'm not even done with season 1.
Oh, you're still on season 1? I did not realize. I thought you were maybe at least on season 2 or 3.
No.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Anime is one of those things, like 90% of my media like consumption, Jeremy, is background. It's I have it on in my other monitor while I'm editing log videos or like doing something monotonous. Very rarely do I go out of my way to watch anime and just pay attention and watch it. And normally when I do, it's in a Discord watch party with you and some other lodge people.
Yeah.
Or like in person with you.
Have you seen the Viking one?
Vinland Saga?
Yeah, Vinland Saga.
I watched 5 minutes of the first episode.
Oh, that's it? I liked Vinland Saga quite a bit. I thought it was very well done.
Well, I was gonna watch it, and you and Brian were gonna like rewatch it with me, but then something came up, like you had to go or he had to go or something, and then we just never did it.
Oh,
and I wasn't
shame.
gonna push it. 'Cause I think that was around the time when you guys were catching up on the newer season at the time of Demon Slayer. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna like be like, let's watch this instead.
Yeah. Well, that one was also very enjoyable. Both season 1 and 2.
All right. Are you still completely stumped?
I got one more question to ask.
Oh, you know, I won't count the Ghost Stories. That's true. That was a meme answer. That was a meme question.
Well, I mean, I know you watched it.
Oh, okay.
You're the one that introduced me to it. Yeah, you're the one that showed me Ghost Stories.
That means by proxy, Gus introduced you to it. Because he introduced me to it. Oh, I might as well change that Rockwell sign from 3200 to 32. Go ahead.
Let's see. Last one. Have you seen... Oh my god, it's in my head again, and I don't know the name of it. The one I want to ask.
Describe it. I'll help you if I know it.
Hang on. Quick break on gameplay. Give me one moment.
Damn, he's looking up.
It is bugging the shit out of me.
You're dying.
I hear it. Leave me alone.
You can pause the game, Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this guy goes, oh yeah, oh my god. You're that committed to this question. I appreciate the commitment. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm trying to look it up and I can't find it.
Just describe it. I'll help you. I'm sitting here watching you play. Like, I can look it up. I have another monitor.
I think it's on Netflix.
Just describe the damn show, Jeremy. What can you remember?
It's an older anime.
Are you talking about Evangelion?
What? No. Everyone knows Evangelion.
It's a weird one. Some people forget the deets. It was worth me bringing it up. You know, if they're classic.
Okay, it's like young boy, young girl.
Okay.
She kisses him.
Uh-huh.
He transforms into some like super powerful wizard from the past, and
What the
starts
fuck are you
goes on a
talking
fucking
about?
rampage of killing people. What is that called?
I
Okay, well you haven't seen it, so
well, I'll look it up though.
it's an old one. It was a really out of the ball question, but I wanted to ask it in case
Boy
you've seen it.
becomes wizard from Kiss anime. Are you referring to
Kiss anime.
yeah, Kiss anime, my favorite.
Referring to
Is it Bastard Heavy Metal
oh,
Dark
I think that's the
Fantasy?
one. That's the one. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. Although I did type in
Okay.
young boy turns into wizard from Kiss and it showed up.
That's all you need.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
Because we had to look that one up, just ask another one, for the love of God.
I've seen Full Metal Alchemist.
You know the answer to this question. You know I haven't. I know you know I haven't.
So I'm still stuck on the best.
You know I've gotten to the point where it's like, can we play with the dog? And then I didn't watch anything past that. Play with me.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
And again, it's just one of those. We were watching it. It was like I was enjoying it, and then we just were moved on. Ask me another one for fuck's sake. I know you knew. You know I haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist. You give me shit for it constantly.
All right, all right, all right.
Like at least once a week, you're like, "How have you not seen Full Metal Alchemist? What's wrong with you?" And
Oh,
no, I
there's that
haven't
one
seen
up there.
Brotherhood either. Nice try.
No, that smells like the same thing.
I know.
Then have you seen Death Parade?
No.
No. Okay.
I know the name of it, but that's about it. Are you still completely stumped?
Yes.
Would you like special hint A or special hint B?
B.
This is a show you've watched with me.
I have. Oh boy.
Yep. Absolutely. I remember us sitting on the 90s couch watching it together.
Did I like it?
Yeah. Not only did you like it, you're the one who showed it to me.
What?
And I remember you vividly saying when the show was brought up, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to watch that. You'd really like that.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
And you were even saying, like, I don't know what's telling me this, but something tells me you'd really like this show. And you were right.
Oh my god, I don't think I know.
Do you want special hint A?
Yeah, what's A?
I've read it.
You've read it.
I've read the manga. Which doesn't help you much because I've read a lot of manga. I've read more manga than I've watched anime. But now starts your 3 guesses to guess what the favorite show is.
I'm kind of what the.
Once you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god!" Of course. That's secret special hint C.
I've showed you. We both watched.
You introduced it to me.
Huh.
And when we watched it, it wasn't always just you and me watching it, but a lot of it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had another person there. And that person has been in several Lodge videos. So let me tell you right now, it's not Brian that the person is.
Oh yeah. Well, he said on the '90s couch.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Well,
it
yeah.
definitely
It's like
said
there's
that.
no
Yeah.
way.
Brian doesn't know about the '90s couch. R.I.P.
I introduced you to it, huh?
Yep. I remember the conversation as clear as day. You were talking about it, and the other person we were hanging out with, he said, "Oh my god, yeah, he should watch that. He would like it." And you're like, "That's what I thought." And then we watched it. For giving up a guess, Jeremy, I'll let you ask 2 questions about it.
I'm really
If
trying
you
to
want to play along, if you want to play along in the comments, you can just say if you guessed it right or not. Once it's revealed.
trying to rack my brain here. I don't recall watching too much.
Really? Because we watched a shit ton of stuff together.
The stuff that really stuck with me was the stuff I really disliked. Oh.
No, I don't know if this is one of your favorites, but I remember you specifically not disliking it. And I believe you liked it, if I recall correctly.
Wait a minute.
Are you gonna give up a guess?
No, hang on. Is it the Kijo?
I've never watched that.
No, okay. You're not the one I watched it with.
I was there when you watched it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I was playing Civ on my laptop when you guys were watching it, or I was doing something else. Because I was like, I don't know. The idea's funny, but I'll pass. I have watched that show since.
Okay, so it's not that one. I got
So
two
you
more.
have 2 guesses. You can give up a guess to ask 2 questions of your choice. Within reason. Subject to change.
So I can't just ask you, what was it?
Yeah, no. Nice try.
What else did we watch?
You might want to take those 2 questions, Jeremy. They might help you. You could do the whole 20 questions game questions kind of thing of like, is the main character this or that? Stuff like that. Or like, hey, does it have this in it?
Alright, I'll give one up.
Okay, what are your 2 questions?
Is the main character a boy or a girl?
Girl.
Ooh. Alright, I got one more question.
Yep.
What genre of anime was it?
There's a lot of genres associated with the show, because like most shows have like 10 genres.
What's like the main?
There's a couple. There's like 2 or 3. Why don't you give me a list of genres, and I'll tell you which one fits best.
Okay, like fantasy, sci-fi, isekai, high school.
So far, really none of those.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind of one of them, but not really.
Which one is like closest to?
It's kind of fantasy, like barely.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, do I know? I think I might know.
You want to give it your last guess?
The Kobayashi Dragon Maid?
Yeah.
Ah, you're right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is.
I thought that one was all right.
That's what I thought. I remember you didn't hate it. You liked it, but you're like, it's not my favorite. I like it a lot.
I should have guessed. It's all coming to me now.
Honestly, I thought your last guess was either gonna be that or Monster Monsume.
Monster Matsumi would have been a decent guess.
Well, because it's also kind of fantasy, but not really.
Yeah.
I
When
feel
you
like
said
that's the
kind
hint
of fantasy, I was like, kind of fantasy. I was like, oh wait, female main character. Oh, hang on, I know.
Yeah, because like kind of fantasy, it's like, yeah, there's dragons, but like it's not like in a fantasy setting. They're in modern day. Like you live in an apartment. Yeah, I like that show. I've read all the manga.
I didn't realize you read all the manga for it.
Yeah, I got bored working at the camp Gus when we used to work out together. I had a lot of free time, so I downloaded every manga and all like the side arcs and like subplot manga, and I read all of it. I read the one about what Elmo does, which, good God. Read the one about Lukoa. Oh my God, even worse. That one's
yeah,
like
yeah,
softcore porn.
Yeah, that one's. I know about that one.
That one was like, I cannot read this when I'm not in.
They actually did it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's about as heavily implied as you can be without just showing it.
So they did it.
Yeah. It was so Shota could be a man. It was weird. I didn't like that too much. I liked what Lukoa did after, of like, hey, you don't need this to be a man. You can just be a man by just being who you are and being confident in who you are. I'm like, all right, good life lesson. You didn't need that first part though, of like,
Yeah, you didn't actually need to do that. I don't think I like that.
And there's a couple scenes where like she surprises him like in the shower and shit. I'm like, ugh.
I was never really into that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, I was like
weird.
Like, I don't know. Like, like it's one thing of like he's going to take a shit and he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you're in here," and shuts the door and runs away. That's fine. That's a real life thing. It happens. I don't care who you are. If you come into the shower with me, like, hey, you want to have a good time? I'm like, no, I'm having a good time alone.
Start like screaming for an adult.
Just squirt a bunch of conditioner in their eyes and punch them.
I was gonna say pocket sand, but you're in the shower.
Yeah, prison pocket sand. You know, Dale Gribble will keep a little baggie of it on him.
Damn right.
Prison pocket sand. Now with Choco chunks.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
All right, Jeremy. You want to guess my favorite manga now?
Is it the same answer as the anime?
No.
Is it JoJo?
Yeah.
Okay, that was easy.
What part?
7.
Yeah. Who's my favorite character from it?
JoJo.
No.
Dio.
Actually, no. I hate the Dio. At least the initial Dio.
That's all I know, man. That's all the only characters I know.
I love Gyro.
I don't. Who?
He's like the main sidekick.
The main sidekick.
Some would actually argue he's actually the main character instead of the JoJo. Because the story focuses on him a lot. And he goes pizza, mozzarella.
Wait, is this the one with like Dio's son or something?
No, that's part 5. That one's really good.
That's part 5. Okay.
When that anime came out, I cried. NGL, man. Because I was happy. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm sitting in a Starbucks watching an anime that came out 2 days ago.
It is Starbucks.
I had to. There's no internet. The camping worked at. So when we were out on the weekends, I'd catch up on JoJo, and then I'd go like shopping and hang out and do stuff. It got to the point where the Starbucks employees knew me so well. They're like, oh, Jeremy, you are ready for the next part of JoJo? And one of them was a weeb, and he's like, dude, this next episode's so good. And I'm like, hell yeah.
So
And
good.
I'd watch it, I'd be like, you're right, it was so good. But the finale was like particularly long. I wasn't able to go out for like one of the weekends, so I had to double up.
Hmm.
And I remember, I wish I knew her name. She was such a sweetie. One of the baristas was like, "Hey man, I know you're gonna be here while you're watching your show, but like, you keep tipping us, and like, you're so kind and patient. You'll let other people go in front of you because you're gonna be here all day." They just gave me a free extra coffee and like a pastry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey man, like we like your seat's there, like you're good, like have at it." And I remember I was like, "This is so nice." I'm just a guy watching JoJo. I'm a guy in his mid 20s watching JoJo, going like, "Oh my god, he did the Dio pose."
He did the Dio pose.
We're like, "Koregewa Requiem." Oh my god, holy shit, holy fuck, dude. I'm gonna stand by. I think you'd like part 5 and part 7. Like, I think you'd actually enjoy them.
Which one has the steel balls?
That's 7,
That's 7. Okay.
which hasn't been made yet into anime.
Ah. Well, I only like that one because of a different game.
You like that one because the reason that those steel balls work as a power is because of the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio of 16:9.
I don't even know what you're saying to me.
Do you know what the Fibonacci sequence is?
No.
You ever see that rectangle that has a spiral that infinitely goes down from like Renaissance art and shit?
Yes.
That's the Fibonacci sequence.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole gimmick of part 7's like, because they don't have Hamon, they have spin.
Shouldn't they just have, like, stands?
They do still have stands, but there's a you know, we're gonna get in JoJo lore. Fuck it, extra long episode, whatever. I mean, we are farming, so might as well have it be an extra long episode. So they're stands, but there's a group of people, and most of them are actually executioners for the Pope and for like
What?
the Italian city-state. Yeah, their power can heal or hurt people, essentially, depending on how they apply it.
Yeah.
And they get these steel balls, and they have a method where they apply rotational energy in such a way where it makes more energy than it uses.
Mm-hmm.
So it will infinitely spin, essentially, if you do it right.
Yeah. Okay, that I get.
And that's the skill to get their power. And there's still stands, but the way you get a stand isn't like, oh, like you stab yourself with the arrow or whatever.
Yeah.
They're essentially, at the beginning of the manga, they're curses.
Oh?
And a lot of the characters get them because they went through a cursed Native American sacred site.
Hmm.
And it's this desert passage where when you go through, there's a chance you don't make it out, and if you do, like, you're changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people get powers, and most of them are not great.
Hmm.
Like, they're good, but it's like, that sounds like a pain in the ass. Like, there's one guy, Poco Loco, you like him. His stand, it just gives him stupid luck.
That's pretty cool.
Which, you think it sounds great. The stupid luck, it just means he's going to have great fortune. Not that he's not going to experience pain or heartbreak or, like, bad things.
Yeah, I only really associate that with fortune.
So, like, one of the things is, like, he's in a race. His stand makes his horse take a shortcut where it drags his face through a bunch of cactuses.
Oh.
And the stand's like, hey, look, you just cut off 2 seconds off your time. He's like, ah, oh my god.
Oh, I don't like that one then.
Or there's another one where, like, another race where, like, his horse jumps up onto, like, this little mound of mud.
Uh-huh.
And he starts, like, Tony Hawk grinding a rotting horse carcass down the hill that they were going down.
What?
Yeah. But he goes too fast, if I remember correctly. Like, he hits, like, a tree or something and falls off his horse. And he has to, like, be dragged by his horse for, like, a mile.
Well, that sounds
But
awful.
because he was able to be dragged by the horse, he was able to go through the lower branches for a shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bunch of stuff like that. It's really funny. And then you have to remember, Jeremy, the main villain, spoiler alert for part 7, the main villain's the president.
Alright, oh, I knew that, though.
Well, not everybody will.
Well, I do, and I'm everybody.
And honestly, for a villain, he's pretty agreeable, and I kind of like him. I think he has a more noble cause than the main character.
His stand is called Dirty Dean's the Dirt Cheap, right?
Yeah, or filthy X at a reasonable price,
Hmm.
which is hilarious. Yeah, his stand is he can go to alternate realities and bring things from the alternate reality to the current one.
I would
But
totally use
anything
that.
that's not him, if it touches the current reality version of itself, it explodes
Oh,
violently and painfully.
like living things or
Anything,
anything.
inanimate objects, living things.
So I can just like grab someone's TV and like keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can. It just would explode though.
But if it gets too close or touches the one from the current reality, it will explode.
Oh, I'll just take something from far away, so I don't have to worry.
Like there's a whole fight sequence where like he took a gun from another reality to like keep on fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody threw the current reality gun at him, and it fucked up his hand because it like
Oh.
sandwiched it and fucking exploded.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him. It happened to somebody with that with the gun. It's like, oh my god. Or like one of the things he does to fight is he'll just bring in, or he'll send people to the other reality because he's also the only person who can traverse the realities. Nobody else can.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can control going in and out, and the way he has to do it is he has to be under something.
Hmm.
Whether that's a solid object or like a wavy flag. His signature is he does the American flag and it looks badass.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting power. And that's also the JoJo part where they find the body parts of Jesus.
Hmm.
And that's the whole thing is they have to find all the body parts of Jesus because whoever has them has like impeccable fortune and luck. And not like Poco Loca dumb luck, but true good fortune. Yeah, I recommend it. In part 5, I think you'd like too, because it's about a teenager who's like, hey, yeah, I don't like that the mafia's selling drugs, so we're just gonna stop the mafia over the next like 14 days.
Which is your least favorite? 3?
One.
One. Oh, 1. Fair. 1 was so boring.
Like I like the JoJo. I like Speedwagon. Like Zeppeli's cool, but it's just looking back on it, I like it at least because it has the least impact. Besides like Speedwagon being like a forever fucking character.
Mm-hmm.
And like mention of like Zeppeli and like the other JoJos and setting up the lineage, it's nothing. Yeah, it sets up Dio, but like
Yeah. Eh.
and it's supposed to set like, oh, all JoJos are good people, but then you have part 5 where it's like, well, he's half Dio, so is he still good? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I part 2 is the same way. Like, it's neat, but like, they did a lot of world building, and then they got rid of it all because he went from Hamon to focusing on just stands.
Yeah. Which I think that's a little sad.
Which I get, but like, and he wanted to keep the characters because he liked the characters he was writing. And he mentioned that like he knew that like Hamon couldn't go much farther, so he had to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, like just make it a different thing at that point and be like, oh hey, like that was like the old, but now New Days, like that's gone. It's a lost art, which they kind of cover. It's like, come on, fat, look fat.
That's kind of sucks though. Just get rid of that whole thing. Just waste of time basically.
You have to remember, JoJo started in like the 80s. No, it started in the 90s. It started like 2 years after Dragon Ball started.
Mm.
And it's been going on ever since. It's one of the longer running mangas in anime.
Yeah. Dragon Ball is a lot farther ahead.
Well, Dragon Ball's also retconned and made a lot of things not canon. Whereas everything in JoJo is canon.
Hmm.
Like, there's no like weird Dragon Ball GT situation where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this whole season's nothing now. Cool.
Ooh, I got a lot.
Yeah, there's no like weird stuff like that. It's all canon. I mean, and it helps that the original guy's also still making it on like Dragon Ball, because the
Well,
guy
yeah,
passed.
he's gone. He's dead. Spoiler alert, by the
Spoiler, IRL spoiler.
way. In case you guys didn't know.
But Jeremy, I'm gonna stand by of when Part 7 gets animated. I want to watch it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Not
guess what?
sure I'm down for that.
You don't need any of the context from the rest of the show at all.
No?
In fact, it's almost better that you don't have context, because after Part 6, it's a universe reset.
Hmm. Well, yeah, that I knew.
Well, it's a parallel universe that has like no ties to the other universe. There's no weird crossovers or stuff you need to know.
Hmm.
It's a complete alternate reality of where instead of Dio being in England, he's in America doing a horse race. Instead of Jojo being a noble family guy, whatever. I believe he's still English. I don't 100% remember, but like he's a horse racer and he got his legs broken. He's a paraplegic.
Oh. Rough.
It's all parallel stuff, and like they even talk about some of the stuff. This is a big spoiler if you want a big spoiler.
Yeah, give it to me.
If you don't want to be spoiled for a main plot point of Part 7 of JoJo, skip like 20 or 30 seconds ahead. Dio's original power in Part 7 is he can like touch things and they become dinosaurs, and then he can become a dinosaur. But the president brings in an alternate reality Dio and kills the current reality one. The alternate reality one has the world.
Hmm.
And so the Dio looks the same, but he has the old Dio stand. It's because from an alternate reality, which is the original reality, but slightly different.
Huh. So why?
And that Dio's evil, while the original Dio was not truly evil. He was just a dick.
Yeah.
And the president wanted somebody who'd listen to money in him.
Did that work out?
Eh, kind of.
So no.
Turns out if you bring a truly evil person, might not go to your plan.
Yeah, I could have told him that.
Oh, there's also a guy in the horse race who doesn't have a horse.
So how is he in the horse race?
He paid his way and paid for a horse registry, but he just runs barefoot. Because he's like a Native American pathfinder, and he knows all the natural routes.
Does he like do well?
Yes, very well.
Huh. Strange.
Well, because he doesn't have to take paths big enough for horses or that can accommodate. He can just go directly up mountains and shit.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's doing it, by the way, is so he can raise money for his tribe.
Hmm. Okay.
He's cool. I like him. He's a really interesting character. And you learn like, you don't learn every racer's background because there's a ton of racers, but you learn about a lot of the racers, like why they're doing it, why they want to win, and like how they got there if it's not like blatantly obvious.
Hmm.
And then you learn, oh, the race was all a hoax just to get all these people together to find the parts of Jibo.
Because yeah, it was all cover up just to find them all.
Yep.
Hmm.
Because the race's route is directly along where they theorized all the parts would be. And then part 8's weird, because part 8 goes off of the end of part 7. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But it gets really weird. The main villain's Fruit. Yeah.
The main villain's who?
Fruit. Not who. It's Fruit.
It's what? Why?
You don't want to know. You really don't.
It's like evil fruit?
No, it's not evil.
It's just fruit.
No, it's, if anything, it's a good fruit, but it is fruit.
That sounds stupid.
Also, go through the donut.
Oh.
The story's good, but it took me 2 reads to understand why it was good. It's
Oh,
very
2
weird
reads.
and convoluted. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because to be fair, half of part 8 is just him trying to figure out who he is.
Oh, he's got like amnesia or something?
He's 2 people. And not like a split personality, like he's actually 2 people put together.
Oh.
Like they talk about how he has 4 balls and shit like that.
What?
Yeah, because he notices it. He's like, what the fuck? It has to do with, like, in this one little part of Japan, there's a weird fault. And if you were near there during, like, an earthquake, a bunch of weird stuff happened.
And you get 4 balls.
These 2 people who were merged together, and 2 tongues, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
It's really weird, man.
That
and then they talk about how there's
weird.
this fruit that you can eat it and it'll heal your stuff, but it kind of curses you. And then there's these people called stone people who they're immortal, but they're made of stone, and they have to sleep for a while when they sleep. And the way you can kill them easiest is if you put them in a large body of water that's too deep for them to swim up. They'll just sit there in eternity drowning, but not able to die. Because if they go out of stone form, they'll die for real. And they know that they can't swim up while they're not in stone form because it's too far. So they just sit there thinking for eternity because they can't really do anything or they'll just die. It's a mess.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a mess.
Don't you don't have to do anything with part 8. Just part 7, Jeremy. That's all I want from it. Is the one part that's not convoluted and that's cool. It has a lot of really interesting fights. Part 5 is also that camp of not very convoluted. It's just pretty cool. There's really only like one plot point that's a little confusing, but it makes sense. They wrote out one of the Joe Bros because the mangaka had to write it out because he's like, oh god, this is too powerful. This would be a huge plot hole if I left him in here the whole time. So he literally just said like, hey, I know I was going to help you guys with your plan to kill all the mafia people, but I'm good. It's too dangerous, and I don't want to buy.
And I don't want to buy.
Well, because his stand was essentially he had a fungus he could disperse the spores of, where if you breathed it in, you died in like 8 seconds or whatever.
That sounds OP.
Yeah. And for the main villain of 5, regardless of any time-altering abilities, if you breathe it, you still just fucking die. Unless you get the cure, which you'd have to essentially be given it to willingly.
Interesting.
Or there is no cure. It's one of the two. It's just like, okay, I get why you wrote it out. That is a little overpowered.
Yeah, it seems a bit overpowered.
But yeah, if you're gonna watch JoJo, so you don't need context for part 5. It helps a tiny bit, but you don't really. The only context you need is that Jordo is Dio's kid and JoJo's kid. Because Dio took the body of JoJo, but kept his own head because he's a vampire and did the vampire shit.
Yeah.
But because of that, this kid has both of their DNAs, so he has the good and the bad. So he's a really good guy who's fucking brutal. Which I think makes for a cool character. There's a whole fight sequence that ends with him actually beating up a person for 9 pages straight in the manga.
Damn.
And it's not even like him fighting. No, it's him pummeling him. And screaming and crying because he killed like several hundred people.
Oh.
He literally pummels the absolute hell out of him. And that pummeling sequence ends with him being thrown into a garbage truck as it was closing and compacting.
Oh, really?
The bad guy. Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
And it says on the back, like, we incinerate on Thursdays and Wednesdays, and you know that, like, for the show, it's a Wednesday. It's brutal.
That sounds
And part 5 is the first part where they explain where Stan's came from too.
interesting. Oh, is it?
Yep, they explain it, and it's not just like, oh, hey, if you use this arrow or you're born, it's cool. It's like, no, this is where it came from. It's like an alien parasite thing.
Hmm.
And they explain what stands are and how they can evolve and how they can be like, you bought the premium DLC speedrun evolved. But yeah, no. If you want to watch JoJo, audience member, God, we've been talking about JoJo for like 20 minutes. I am sorry. I am so fucking sorry. I'd almost think it'd be better to talk about baseball cards for this long, but well, no, maybe not.
No.
That's an even more niche crowd of you either love it or hate it.
At least with JoJo, some things sound cool.
But if you want to watch JoJo, I'd watch part 5. You don't need any context besides literally this. Hey, he's part Dio, and Dio, bad guy, and that Dio means God in Italian, and the main villain of part 5's name means devil in Italian. Fun fact.
Just a bit of a fun fact for everybody.
But I recommend it. There are 2 or 3 episodes in part 5 you can skip. You'll know them when you see them. They're just recap episodes because that show took like 2 years to come out for that season. Because of like some production stuff and some budget stuff and some like licensing stuff. So they made recap episodes after each long break in the season, which the longest break I think was about 9 months. But you can skip those and you'll know because it'll be like, hey, recap. It'll be like, hey, let's talk about like everything we did. And it literally just shows shot for shot, like, hey, this is what happened. Lamau. You can skip those. You don't need those, especially if you're binge watching. Let's be real. If you're watching, you're gonna binge watch, you little whore. Nobody watches an anime watching one episode and then being like, all right, I'll watch it the next one next week. No, you're gonna binge watch this shit in like 2 or 3 days.
I've done that.
I have too, but most people don't.
Mainly because, you know, the next episode's not out yet.
I've done it by choice once, and I actually enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't even remember what show. It wasn't even a show I really loved. But I'm like, you know what? This will be like my weekly rituals. Like, I think it was like Thursday nights. Like after work, I'll sit down, I'll watch an episode, and then I'll do what I want to do. I can tell you, I did that with The Sopranos for a while.
Oh, really? The Sopranos?
Except I did 2 episodes. So like, I'd watch 2 episodes every like Sunday because that was my one day off when I was living down south. It was like I can watch it only on Sunday, 2 episodes. It was like some of the middle season stuff, and it'll just give me time to think about me excited. And after a while, I'm like, I'm really liking the show. I'm gonna binge the rest of it. But like that syndicated television, it's made to like sit in your brain and like fizzle for a bit, and that's why I did that, and it was worth it.
I like the way it ended.
Don't stop.
It was great.
Did you watch the prequel show?
No.
Did you watch the actual show?
No. I just saw the ending and I liked it. Well, I mean, do you count me watching The Sopranos through YouTube Shorts?
No, because that show is ridiculously long with a lot.
Because I've watched a lot of Soprano clips.
It's, as someone who has an Italian family that I go to family gatherings of, and I used to go all the time, their Italian family gatherings are very, very accurate. Including the, hey, who's this guy? Oh, he's just a friend from work, but he's family. He can come over too. All the fucking time. I'd be like, hey, Uncle Redacted. Who's this? Oh, it's my buddy. It's my buddy Paul. Like, he's from work. He's good people. He's family. Like, we hang out all the time. He's a good man. It's like, okay. Hey, Paul. How's it going? Or how it would go from like casual, like, hey, how's it going discussions to like straight up like political just arguments.
Hmm.
Think Thanksgiving conversations, but that was every family gathering.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I love my
yeah, it
family.
was.
Though. My family's good people. Family, if you're listening, good people.
Except
And
on
also,
Thanksgiving.
what? No, even on Thanksgiving. I mean, honestly, it. Like I hear all these Thanksgiving horror stories that people have every year. I'm like, oh, mine were never that bad. Like, normally it was just like, I don't want to say like typical middle class white people, but
The shoe
like nothing
fits.
crazy. Like nothing crazy. Just like, oh, did you see this? Yeah, they had it coming. Like a moderate conservative view at worst.
Hmm.
Nothing crazy. Like let's do the thing Hulk Hogan did to get canceled levels. Like
Hoagie.
no eugenics talk or anything like that.
Yeah, I gotta stay away from that.
Just like, oh wow, did you see Usain Bolt broke the record? Are you surprised? Stuff like that. I find it so funny that Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man, owns the world's fastest tortoise.
Wait, does he?
He does, because tortoise racing is a big thing in Jamaica.
Mm.
He owns the world's fastest tortoise, and that's fucking hilarious to me.
That's
That
kind of
not only is
wild.
he the fastest bipedal mammal, he also owns the fastest of one of the slowest animals. And plus, Usain Bolt, pretty nice guy, from what I've been told.
Hmm.
I also know he tried out for a soccer team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he tried out for Borussia Dortmund and an Australian team.
He
'Cause
didn't
the
get
thought
in,
was-
did he?
No, I think it was a mutual thing of him not going in though.
Oh.
Because he's good at soccer, but the issue is like, if he's doing soccer, there's a chance he'll get hurt and won't be able to run.
Hmm.
And plus, like, if I'm a defender and I see the world's fastest human with the ball running at me, I'm gonna slide tackle the fuck out of him.
Gotta take his
I'll
ass
take
down.
I'll take the yellow or red card. He ain't gonna be running so fast if he lands on his face because I kicked him in the back of the knee.
Fair.
Oh, you know what's another good anime?
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Frickin' Yu-Gi-Oh.
Remember we were watching through the original show again?
Yeah.
I was enjoying that. That show's so stupid. It's just them not playing the game right because a lot of reasons.
Well, I mean, have you read the original manga for it?
Yeah, I know. I know Russian Roulette was in the original manga. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, the guy getting burned alive on the
Did you know
another
the show
panel.
actually caused the production of really bad cards?
Yeah.
Like not good cards, like unplayable cards.
Oh,
That
unplayable. Oh.
Well, because for a while, if they showed a card in the show, they wanted it to be in the card game.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's just like the whole thing with like G.I. Joe or He-Man. It's something to sell toys.
Yeah.
And they'd have, you know, remember those cards was like, I play like Llama Hawk Tua. It has 215 attack and 793 defense. They'd print the card like that.
Ugh.
And it's like, this is not only unplayable, but it's also a pain in the ass to keep track of if I did use it. They did that for a while, and then they stopped. And then they started doing like, all right, we're going to make it so we balance the cards in the show like we do IRL.
Yeah.
And if you watch any modern Yu-Gi-Oh show, which if you want a modern Yu-Gi-Oh show to watch Vrains. Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains is very good. But yeah, it'll be like, all right, cool, like these cards aren't out yet, they'll be out, or like it'll be like, oh hey, the villain has a new secret card. And you can look it up in like either the Shonen Jump magazine or like online, and it'll be like, hey yeah, that new card that like I don't know, like Jingo Bingo played. Like, it'll be in the next set as a secret rare or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, Chef's Kiss theme song. It's also the guy who did the Part 1 JoJo opening, so you know it's good. You know, world hot dog eating champion.
It always goes back to JoJo.
Hey, he's the world hot dog eating champion. Let me find out what year he is quick. Tommy, I think it's Tommy Tominga. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tommy Tominaga. I was damn close. I'll give myself credit for that. Let's see. They removed his hot dog eating thing from his wiki. What the fuck?
He's no longer champion.
Hot dog. Let me look up his name in hot dog. Okay, yeah, here it is. It's on the JoJo wiki about him. What the fuck? Don't you love when you see something in a wiki, like in a little preview, and then when you click on the wiki, you just can't fucking find it?
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. He began performing in Tokyo Live House in 1986 when he was 22 years old. In New York, he won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in 1990. Well, no, it was in the 80s, but he won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. He's a hot dog eating champion. Yeah, I'm gonna find out what year it was just for you, Jeremy.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, Hirokai Tamanaga. The one-on-one challenge with Japan, he won. He ate 10.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Which is crazy because now the record is 76 in 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. 76?
Yeah, Joey Chestnut, baby.
Oh my, does he just not, he just doesn't chew, he just swallows.
Well, he dunks them in water and then swallows them.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. Whereas back in the day, like, you're actually enjoying the hot dog, at least a little bit. Let's be real. In 10 minutes, I could eat 10.5 hot dogs. I'd feel like absolute garbage after, but I could do that. I feel like most people could if they put their mind to it and, like, didn't eat the day before. 76 wieners? You're telling me that this dude has, like, several sports teams worth of wieners he can eat in 10 minutes?
That's,
oh my God.
Yikes. That's just disgusting, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Nothing about that is,
Man,
like,
this episode's been
impressive.
great so far. We talked about JoJo a little bit. We then spent a long-ass time you guessing my favorite anime. We talked about JoJo some more, and now we're talking about wieners. Which, I mean, that fits with the JoJo thing, right?
Oh, 100%.
You want some more JoJo trivia?
Well, maybe next time, buddy.
No, you get one quick fact. You ready?
Hit me with it.
The guy who writes and designs JoJo, he's had his work featured in the Louvre and on designer fashion brands.
Huh. Did not know that.
Well, you know what they say. If you don't know, I mean, I just fucking told you should know now.
The more you know.
I'm not putting up that clip again.
You don't have to.
That was an episode 3 bit.
Alright, goodbye.
Yeah, leave.